Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, 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 and thank you, thank you, thank you. This is just an impromptu MattTv. Just gonna have some fun here. It is another wet day here on the south coast of British Columbia, White Rock, BC, to be a little more specific. Yeah, it is just dumping rain out. I'm hoping that this will be the last day of this weather system, and we're looking to get into a change in the weather starting tomorrow. And from what I've seen, the extended long-range forecast, we're looking at sunshine all this week and maybe even into next week. Hello, Laura. How are you? I was just thinking of you and Derek just not too long ago, and I want to show you while you're here right now. I have in my hand three CDs that were sent to me from Dan Esplin. We both know, and Dee knows Dan Esplin moved to Saskatchewan. So I'm going to have a listen to these CDs, and I'll be talking with Dan probably next week, definitely before Christmas. I'll be talking to Dan about his music, but all is well in Saskatchewan with Dan and his wife and his son Maverick. So pass that information along to your man, Big D, if you would be so kind. James, how are you? It's pouring rain here on the south coast. I'm not going anywhere today. So I thought, why not just get in front of the phone, get on some MattTv, and just see if I can generate some discussions. Hello, Angie. Generate some discussions and maybe inform people on a Saturday afternoon, that give them my schedule for MattTv in the coming week. No worry. All I was saying, Laura, our friend Dan Esplin, who Derek and I used to work with, who moved to Saskatchewan. He has music out. He sent me 3 CDs of his music along with another partner of his. So I'm going to listen to those CDs, and I'll be interviewing Dan coming up here in the coming weeks. Working on both businesses right now. I am sure you are unbelievably busy. So thanks for tuning in. This is why I like doing these impromptu MattTVs, because you never know the audience that you're going to get. This is not my typical time slot, so it's not going to be my regular viewers. But the beautiful thing about the internet, I can go on any mobile device, and if you get a notification that I am going live, by all means, pop in, say hi, do what you have to do with the rest of your Saturday. There is absolutely no obligation for any length of time that you have to put up with this guy. But I thought I'd come in here and have a little fun today. And again, it's just a weekend edition, an impromptu. See who's in here? Yes, really. Just let me refresh my Facebook page so I can read the comments a little better. I have no other information aside from a few notes that I have made. I will have to get permission from Dan to allow me to put his music up on my page. But I'll get all that information. But I was just listening to one of the CDs. I love the music. His music, for me, it kind of reminds me, the first time I heard his music, it kind of reminded me of the Stray Cats, the music of the Stray Cats. So just let me pull down my comments here, Laura, so I can see what's going on here. Okay, just continue to leave comments if you so choose. Yes, anyway, Dan Esplin, good buddy of mine. Haven't seen him in like 4.5 years. And the funny thing about that is before Dan called me, maybe 4 or 5 hours before Dan reached out to me, I put into the universe that MattTv is a platform, not just for me. It's not just my creative outlet, but it's a platform. It's an opportunity for you to come on the show, come visit me on the phone, do what you need to do to maybe get that exposure that maybe you need. Maybe you have a business. Maybe there's a story, just something you want to share. That's what it's all about. I would love to visit you and Derek on the island. I would certainly love to get to the island and do that. The door will always be open. This platform will always be here. I didn't go anywhere. I'm right here in my garage. We continue to be live on Facebook Live on a Saturday afternoon. My name is Matthew, and it's raining sideways here, so I just thought I'd get in front of the camera and have a little fun, see who might pop in and say hi. The invitation is there to hang out for as long as you so choose. I totally just cut out. Okay. That's technology. Like I said, the weather may be a factor in the quality of the broadcast today. It's completely out of my hands. There was no disruption on my end here. So I don't know how many times I've told you this story, Laura. Maybe it's just not meant to be heard. Maybe that's it. Dan Esplin, Saskatchewan. He sent me some music. I'm going to interview him next week. There, I said it. Hopefully it didn't cut out that sign. But let's move right into a few topics that I just wanted to see if I could get the ball rolling on some topics here on a Saturday. Okay, you heard that. Perfect. You don't have to yell at me. You don't have to yell. I assume people are yelling at me when they use all capitals. I'm sure. You're too nice. Oh, all 3 times. Okay. I don't know. I'm the only person here. New Year's resolutions. Are you the type of individual who makes New Year's resolutions? If so, have you already thought about what you want to do or are going to will yourself to do in 2018? Or is there something you've been doing for the last number of years and you're just like, no more? A few more days, 1 more month of doing whatever it is you're doing, or maybe you'll just stop now. New Year's resolutions. Personally, myself, I don't have any New Year's resolutions as of right now. But when it does come to MattTv, I'm always looking to eventually want to move out of my garage and just get into a more intimate setting. I was watching on Friday afternoon. I was at a friend's house. We were watching a little bit of the Joe Rogan Experience, and I like his setup. All I need is a table and maybe 4 or 5 microphones, and maybe just have one-on-one interviews or group discussions. But that's the avenue. That's the choice that I want, and I will MattTv to go in. Every day is a resolution. Excellent. Yeah, you have to, for me, it's just setting goals and figuring out what works for you and what does not work for you. And if it doesn't work, you just eliminate it. You eliminate it. When in doubt, leave it out. Yeah. So leave comments anytime, whether you're watching live or at your leisure. New Year's resolutions, do you put those out there, or do you even care? Bucket list. I was talking with my boss yesterday, who just came back from what seemed maybe a 1.5, 2-month trip. He was in Europe. He was on the East Coast. Simply loves all the Maritimers. He knows firsthand now that Maritimers are some of the nicest people on the face of the planet, hands down. So he was talking about a few things on his bucket list that he had an opportunity to see. I went to the Eiffel Tower. Was really amazed by that, and then he went right into the spectacularness of Niagara Falls. Spectacularness, that might be a new word, of Niagara Falls. So that just got me thinking, do you have anything? Do you have a bucket list? Have you already scratched off a few things on your bucket list? Again, bucket list for me, right offhand, I can't think of anything. I cannot think of anything. A really cool thing that happened yesterday, and this is how this story came full circle. I get most of my news stories from the CBC.ca. Hello, James. How are you, my friend? Welcome to the program. I get most of my stories from the CBC.ca. And I found this story, I think it was Thursday night. It was about a photographer in Newfoundland who had a temper tantrum, had a meltdown at the mall. So I did the story, and Brent Underhill, who was the brainchild behind #Brant, was live into my show yesterday, picked up on that story, and incorporated it into his #Brant Weekly Roundup last night, and then sent that segment to this individual in Newfoundland who responded back by basically thanking Brent for the acknowledgement of that story. So I thought that was really cool. I thought that was really cool how social media and people just recording things and talking about current events and sending it to the individual and them getting a response. I just thought that was really cool. And hats off to Brent Underhill and the cameraman and everyone involved in that production. They look like they have a lot of fun, and I'm really excited who's going to step up and be that marker sponsor. Who's going to be the sponsor of markers? Lori Crawley, how are you? Here's another question. Real trees and fake trees. Where do you sit on the fence with that? Or are you sitting directly on the fence? Are you, when it comes to Christmas, decorating your home, are you into fake trees? Now, if you get a fake tree, you could have your tree up right now. If you're into real trees, wouldn't you have to wait maybe another 2.5 weeks before you're putting up a real tree in your house? Just wondering. These are just a few things, a few thoughts rattling around in the brain today. And I thought to myself, you know what? I just can't wait till Monday to do this. It's raining. I'm not going anywhere. So let's just get in here and have some fun. See who pops in. And just let people know that there is a new MattTv schedule. And this is going to be continuous right through the month of December into January. And who knows how long this is going to go. But the new MattTv schedule, winter hours right now. 5:30 a.m. Pacific, that's 8:30 Eastern, 9:30 in Woodstock, New Brunswick, 10 o'clock in Newfoundland. It's going to go Monday, Tuesday, take a break on Wednesday, live shows on Thursday and Friday, so definitely keep that in mind. Laura, you have an opinion on, you're talking about fake trees or real trees? We have had fake trees before, the artificial trees before, but nothing beats the smell of a pine tree or a fir tree in your house. The only thing you have to do is just keep them watered, right? You just have to keep them watered. So whatever your opinion is, again, I'm just firing thoughts out there, giving you my 2 cents. They do cost a lot of money. Yeah, it pays to be thrifty, to go around and see what's going on. Yes, yeah, some people, the trees are expensive. I mean, you can go to Home Depot. And get a massive selection of Christmas trees. We live in such, it just boggles my mind. It boggles my mind when here in Canada and North America, for most of us, the opportunity just to go into a grocery store and fill up your grocery cart with food. And there's just so much selection. There's just so much of so much. It can be a bit overwhelming sometimes. But Lori Crawley, real Christmas tree, yeah. Years ago, we would put up a fake Christmas tree at the beginning of November, and we would decorate that tree, and then maybe early December, we would take the decorations off the fake tree and put it on a real tree. But I love a real tree. I just love the smell. Nothing is more comforting than lying on the couch. TELUS has one of those channels where it's just a fire burning in a chimney, and it's just so relaxing. Put on some Christmas music. I absolutely love this time of year. Yeah, even the small trees, even something that you can put, doesn't necessarily have to be a big massive tree like a 6-foot, 7-foot Douglas fir or anything like that. But interesting. We'll probably end up going without, I mean, in my studio here, I have a box that's just, Christmas trees shouldn't come in a box. I don't think Christmas trees should come in a box. Anyone living back in the Woodstock area, is snow-kissed Christmas trees? I know that was run by the Fox family. Snow-kissed Christmas trees. Is that still in operation? Yeah, what cat does not love climbing in trees and knocking it over at least once? And that cats and trees always reminds me of my favorite Christmas movie, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, when the cat gets into the tree and gets fried underneath the chair. I don't mean to laugh, but I hope that never ever happens to your cat, Lori. Yes. Okay, getting right into, I just told you what one of my favorite Christmas movies is. It's one of those must-see, for me anyway, it's one of those must-see Christmas movies that I have to see every Christmas season. What is your go-to? It's just a Christmas movie that you have to see. And are you already watching Christmas movies? I would have to... Elf, definitely. It's a Wonderful Life. I absolutely love watching It's a Wonderful Life on Christmas Eve. That is one of my personal Christmas Eve traditions. I love that stuff. The cat. Your favorite cat took out some of your favorite ornaments. White Christmas, that's a classic. That is a classic. I just absolutely love this season. I think I'm really going to have a lot of fun with MattTv as we get closer to Christmas. In case you're wondering, the MattTv Canadian flag, it is right now in transition. It's probably still in the hands of Sean Crawford at C103 in Moncton. It'll soon be going Canada Post from New Brunswick to Conception Bay South, Newfoundland. It's going to hang out with Simon McGuinness. Simon will collect a few more signatures, and then he will mail it back to me. So I'm hoping that by the third week of this month, definitely before Christmas, the MattTv Canadian flag will be hanging behind me. So, Christmas Story, good choice, good choice. There was a movie that came out a few years ago. I want to say it was Scrooge, but it was with Jim Carrey. And the animation of that movie was just, I think we actually went and saw it in the theater. It was 3D. Christmas Carol is another good one. The Classic with the Muppets is a good one. Miracle on 34th Street. Yeah, there's so many, many. Christmas baking, yes. Has everyone, is it too early for Christmas baking? And if you are doing Christmas baking, what are you making that you're able to freeze for like 3-4 weeks? That's what I'm wondering. That's the $1,000 question. This is a great cup of coffee. Instead of putting milk with my coffee, I'm putting in eggnog. Coffee and eggnog and some sugar. Oh, what a combination. Combination. I have a friend. My supervisor, Randy Topazzini, right now is probably in flight to Cancun, Mexico. So I'm just wondering, do you have any vacation plans? Vacation plans for this holiday season? Maybe you have friends and family coming to where you are. And I did a story on this earlier this week. If you are traveling by plane or you have friends and family who are coming to see you, you might want to check out the Transport Canada website. There have been changes. There have been changes in what you can and cannot bring on a plane. So make sure you check that list before you're doing up your baggage, just to avoid the hassle when you get to the airport. My favorite Christmas song? My favorite Christmas song would have to be Silent Night would be up there. Silent Night. That's a good question. That is a really good question. I'm going to say Silent Night right now, James. Silent Night. Yeah, that's a good one. But I think one of my all-time favorite songs is Amazing Grace. Amazing Grace is probably my most favorite song. I've never heard a bad version of Amazing Grace. It makes me, I tear up every time I hear that song, especially if it's being played by the bagpipes, with the bagpipes. Amazing Grace for me. Silent Night, definitely up there with, I know there's 2 or 3, but I remember growing up, going to church, going to the Wesleyan Church Christmas Eve, going to the Christmas Eve service at the Wesleyan Church, and then meeting up with family who were going to church at the Baptist Church across the street. Driving to different neighborhoods, looking at the Christmas lights, going to my grandparents, collecting presents, getting the phone call from Santa Claus, and going home. Those are the memories that are still pretty fresh up here in the old noggin. That's an excellent idea. That is an excellent idea. And it's good to get friends involved, right? It's great to have friends involved, share recipes. I was out last Saturday night at Todd Whaling's place. It was his birthday. I was at Crystal and Todd's place, and we just got talking about Christmas baking. We got talking about different things, holiday traditions, some favorites that people make. And I ended up coming home Saturday night and taking a picture out of the family book that we have here, that I have at my house. I took a picture of the recipe for strawberry rhubarb custard pie and sent that to Crystal, and hopefully she'll try that this holiday season. I just was quickly talking to Laura. For those that don't know, I absolutely love doing interviews. I love doing phone interviews. I've done some great interviews over the last 8 months, and I could just talk to people all day. And I put this out into the universe earlier this week. Actually, it was last Sunday. I came in here and did a quick impromptu show just to see who was in here, just generate conversation, just get some vibes, have some fun going back and forth. And I think we succeed at that every time we're in here. So I'm quite happy about that. I don't think anyone leaves MattTv at the end of a program with their scowl on their face. At least I hope not. Anyway, talking to a buddy of mine who I used to work with 5 years ago. He moved to Saskatchewan, Estevan, Saskatchewan. He's in a band now, and he sent me these albums here, so I'm going to have a listen to these over the weekend, come up with some questions to who, what, when, where, how, and why, and we'll talk to Dan Esplin probably next week. Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday are show times. No worries, Lori. I get it, man. Life happens and people get busy. But just pass along. I wish him nothing but the best with his many successes. He seems like an outstanding, fine young man. You did yourself very well. So no worries, no worries. But just put the bug in his ear. If at any point down the road he ever has 5, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, and he wants to give the show a phone call, the opportunity will always be there. The door will always be open. No snow on PEI yet. There's not any snow back in the Maritimes yet, is there? That would be a shame. Happy birthdays. I realized today on my Facebook list, happy birthday to Rhonda Tompkins is having a birthday today. And Tina Abbott. Tina Abbott, that's how I know her. She is since married, since high school, obviously, as most girls did. So I think her last name now is Roussel. Tina Roussel is having a birthday today. I know her as Tina Abbott, so happy birthday, Tina. And happy birthday, Rhonda Tompkins. What else did I see on the internet today that made me thought, that'd be an interesting conversation. So this is what it is. Christmas cards. I think I saw a post on here that I think it was Arthur Boone said that he'd already received a Christmas card. So I'm just wondering, on your end, have you already received a Christmas card for someone here on the second day of December, or have you already sent your Christmas cards out? And what do you send in those Christmas cards? Are you sending new family photos? Hey, this is me and my family in 2017. Now you can look at us for a whole year. Go out and buy a frame. So I'm just wondering, Christmas cards. I've just thrown out all kinds of different topics this morning. Probably go for another 9 minutes, maybe do a 30-minute impromptu show. Nothing is scripted here. This is all ad-lib. This is just stuff that comes to my brain, and I transfer it right out of my mouth. But you will notice that there is no vulgarity in this program. I can go on and on and on and never... I just don't think there's no place for vulgarity. There's no place for negativity or bad thoughts or bad vibes on MattTv. It's just not how it happens here. So New Year's resolutions, bucket list, fake trees versus real trees, favorite Christmas movies, holiday destinations, Christmas cards. And James wanted to know, off the cuff. It is definitely off the cuff. It is very, very, very off the cuff. And going back to graduating pictures. Okay, cool. Of course. That's a great Christmas gift. That is a great Christmas gift. Hello, Mom. Welcome to the program. So just some things to think about. Thanks for James for giving me the question. My favorite Christmas song. I would say I'll Be Home for Christmas. I'll Be Home for Christmas, being sung by only Bing Crosby, and Silent Night. I think any Christmas song being sung by Bing Crosby would be right up there with my faves. But definitely Silent Night and I'll Be Home for Christmas. Yeah, those are tear jerkers. Make you cry. Graduating pictures off the cuff. Yeah, definitely off the cuff. This is just fun for me. Because I only see I'm looking at myself in this phone, right? So I don't realize that there are people in their own home watching me. Kind of I don't know. It's fun. I don't think I ever get nervous in front of the camera. I think I've become way more comfortable in front of the camera since I started doing MattTv back in early March. Can't believe it's into my 8th month of doing this. So it's a lot of fun, and I appreciate the live views. I appreciate the comments, the feedback, the shares. It's all good. It's all good. We're just taking baby steps. Favorite Christmas tradition. Well, going back to watching the movie, I have to see It's a Wonderful Life. But my favorite Christmas traditions as a kid, Lori, would be going to the Christmas Eve service as a family, getting all dressed up, and then going out and driving through different neighborhoods to see everyone's display of Christmas lights, going to my grandparents when they lived on Union Street, collecting presents because my grandparents on Union Street was kind of like the hive. It was like the family hive. So aunts and uncles and relatives, when they came to town, but wouldn't be staying for an extended period, would leave presents there. So on Christmas Eve, we'd all go, or at least our family would go, and we'd collect all these presents, and then we would go home. we'd be allowed to open one Christmas present, and then it was off to bed. That and another Christmas morning tradition, and this is going back to when we were living on Churchill Road, the house I grew up in. The four of us would be sitting on the top of the stairs. Well, Dad would go downstairs, use the washroom, and then go into the living room to make sure that Santa was there. And then he'd be playing a video game or something. We'd all tear downstairs. So for me, those are very vivid. I can almost smell Christmas breakfast. Mom's cinnamon bun Christmas tree with cherries on top. I still do that. That's another tradition that I've brought out to the West Coast. You know what? I haven't, in the 17 years I've been out here, Angie, I've never had carolers come to the door. But I know they do. I know there are groups of people that will get together and perform inside a mall, like at a food court. Might be there for the afternoon. It might be some type of fundraiser. But yeah, I think more now you have to actually go inside a facility if you want to like see a choir, like go to a church service. That's definitely where you're going to see people out singing Christmas carols. Not so much, at least not for me personally. I haven't witnessed anything like that, but that would be something to live in a community where you get snow, where it feels and it looks like Christmas. We don't really get that sense of Christmas-like weather out here on the West Coast. We don't. We get rain, and when we do get snow, it's not a lot of fun for anybody because they don't know how to maneuver in it. It's quite frustrating. Yes. About 4 minutes left in the show. I'm just having some fun here. Oh, that's good coffee. And for me, Angie, I couldn't carry a note across the street. I couldn't. Oh, definitely. That would be an ideal. That would be an ideal location to go into because they have different activities and social gatherings for the residents of manors anyway. So why not bring in a bunch of, middle school students, spend a half hour, 45 minutes to an hour just interacting and singing the old school Christmas carols. That would be great. That would be and I'm sure it happens. I'm pretty sure it happens. I don't know what's going on for sports this weekend. I know there is NFL action. I know there's NHL action. So quite possibly your favorite sports team is playing this weekend. I don't know what the weather is like in your area. Maybe it's one of those baked beans, potato scallop, and hot dogs Saturday night and hockey night in Canada. Maybe that's exactly what you'll be doing tonight. That is another. For me, that's a Saturday night tradition. I remember Mom, I don't know if Mom is still in here, but I remember Mom soaking beans on the stove on a Friday night or early Saturday morning and having beans, potato scallop. I'm just reading the comments here. Awesome. That's a great idea. That is an excellent idea. I mean, again, you could set up a bin inside a mall and stand there and sing, and people could come up and make food donations. Going door to door and singing and then wanting someone to give you like a can of tuna or Pop-Tarts might be a little weird, but but that is a great idea. I love the ideas back and forth. This is exactly what we all need. We all need a little MattTv. That's a great name. Lori Smart. Lori Smart. Hello, Mrs. Smart. How are you? Well, I'm pretty smart. Well, to be quite honest, I don't know. It happens at the Carlton Manor. Yeah, I figured it would. I figured. I mean, the Carlton Manor is like one of the coolest places. I've heard nothing but great things about the staff and the facility at the Carlton Manor, so good on them. Good on them. I don't know what I'm going to do with the rest of my day. It's just before 12 o'clock. It's an overcast, dreary, wet, cold day here on the south coast of British Columbia. But I just thought I would come in, pop in. There was a few things There was just a few things that I wanted to talk about, plant a few seeds, and just see what's going on in your world. Now we see Wayne Mason is in here, and if Wayne Mason can give me a blue thumb to tell me that he's got maybe 5 minutes where he can hang out, I will stay. I will stay. Actually, I think I came on with maybe 67% battery life. Okay, so Wayne gave me the blue thumb, so I'll just hang out for a few more seconds. So I'm just going to... Christmas lights are going up on the house. Awesome. Yeah, everyone has to be getting their Christmas lights up. This is the time of year where all the energy companies are like, yes, put up more lights. I don't know if I mentioned this in a previous shows, but there's a farm in Langley, maybe 20 minutes from here, and it's claiming to be hosting the world's largest light display. 500,000 lights. 500,000 lights out here at this farm in Langley. And one of the attractions, like they have food trucks and they have entertainment, but they also have this 210-foot musical tunnel. I don't know, I will probably end up falling down in there just because of my vertigo. But speaking of vertigo, I was just telling Jen a couple days ago that my bouts or my sessions of vertigo have really decreased in the last little while. I'm making your eyes leak. What was I talking about, Mom, that's making you cry? Yeah, well, I don't know. It's good to be emotional, but I don't realize what you're why I'm making your eyes leak, as you say. But quickly, Wayne Mason, New Year's resolutions. Do you have any? Do you care? Bucket list. Real tree or fake tree? What do you have? Christmas movies. Your must-see Christmas movie. Any vacation plans? I got a supervisor off to Cancun, Mexico. Are you going anywhere near that? Or are you going to stay a little closer to the Bearsley Road? Christmas cards. Have you sent Christmas cards? Have you received any Christmas cards yet? If you are sending Christmas cards, what are you putting in those Christmas cards? And your favorite holiday Christmas song. Oh, upset about the potato scallop and the baked beans. The only great story, I have two stories about baked beans and hot dogs. The bad story is I once had a plate of beans and hot dog fly over my right shoulder into a wall. I didn't get up and clean it. The person that did throw it, they cleaned it up and then they left. And but my other more memorable and less frightening experience with a plate of beans and hot dogs, this goes back to when I was living in the original homestead on Churchill Road. It was a Saturday. It was a Saturday night. And that Saturday morning, we had an earthquake. And that Saturday night, Dad and I were home, and I was sitting down in front of the TV getting ready to watch Hockey Night in Canada. I was at a TV tray. Dad, I think, was still in the kitchen. And Mom was out picking Jill up somewhere. And we had an aftershock. That's my... And you would think an earthquake would be more terrifying experience with a plate of beans and hot dogs in front of you, but the plate of food that flew over my shoulder and smashed on the wall, that wasn't scary as much as it was. It was pretty funny. It was pretty funny. Anyway, if you have a favorite beans and hot dog story, please feel free to leave it here right now. Leave the comments right here. Oh, that's good stuff. All right, so Wayne, you have a list of things that you can chew on. If there's anything you want to leave a comment on, feel free to do so. But the main reason I came in here, I just wanted to let people know that there is new times for MattTv. They're going to happen on Mondays and Tuesdays, take a break on Wednesday, come back on Thursday, Friday. And my reasoning behind that, if I do a live show on Monday, that gives me all day today, all day Sunday to gather information. I do a show Monday, Tuesday. Tuesday morning, I'm done that show, but I have all day Tuesday, all day Wednesday to gather more information for my shows on Thursday, Friday. That is the reasoning behind that, if you care. I hope you will be able to sleep a little bit better tonight knowing that little tidbit of information. Rudolph Claymation, yes. So you have sent cards or you've received cards. You're with a fake tree, Burl Ives, drummer boy. We slowly decorating the tree. Who doesn't love festive feelings? Unless you're the Grinch. Unless you're the Grinch. What's another? Going back to the old school Christmas cartoons. Have to see Frosty the Snowman, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, all the classics. Like that's like the stop motion claymation. That's what you're talking about, isn't it? Yeah, the claymation. Yeah, way before animation. Imagine how like time consuming that would have been. Oh, it was the beans. Okay. The classics are the best. The classics are the best. I think they, back in the day when they were movies now and shows now, it's more about the special effects and the CGI. You can't tell what's real and not. Back in the day, when they didn't have all those special effects, you actually needed good dialogue. You needed good dialogue between your characters. You had to have good characters, right? Classics are the best. You're talking about someone. Oh, that's a song. Okay, Willie Nelson. So your favorite Christmas is Willie Nelson. She was my hairdresser. I'm trying to follow along what you're saying on your... Hello, Susan. How are you? Susan and Dave, how are you? Welcome to the program. This is just an impromptu MattTv. I thought I'd come in and just see who was hanging out, see who was playing. Dialogue was amazing. Yeah, you're right. The dialogue was amazing, and it did make up for all the CGI and all the things that we have nowadays. But I love the classics. But there was a story here not too long ago where someone they didn't want the old school Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, the claymation, because it was talking about the island of misfit toys. They didn't think that was appropriate in 2017. Come on, man. Come on, man. Let's give it a rest. Let's give it a rest. It's Christmas. It's Christmas. We're talking about Christmas. We're talking about Christmas, man. And most people don't even know. You ask people about Christmas, what does Christmas mean to you? And a lot of people will be like, talk about presents. Christmas doesn't really have a lot to do about presents. All right. 7 minutes after 12. Dave Wood, welcome to the program. Does anyone have anything that they would like to see changed with MattTv? Anything you would like me to drop? Is there anything you want me to add? I definitely am always trying to incorporate different concepts, different ideas. I love doing the phone interviews. Again, MattTv was created like 8 months ago, right here on Facebook Live. It's my creative outlet. This is something that I need to do. I must do. And the invitation will always be there for you. If at any point you have something you want to say, if there's something you want to talk about, if you want to open people's eyes to something that's going on in your world or a cause, you're involved in an organization, by all means, reach out to me and we can get the word out there. Would love studio seating availability. You know what I want to do? The next time I'm home, I don't know... what are you referring to there? Like, what studio do you want to be a part of? Because when I get my studio, wherever this goes, you will definitely be in the front row, if not just helping me. I'm going to need some helpers here pretty soon. I couldn't even get my stagehand to drop confetti the other day when I made the big announcement. I think it was Thursday morning. I made a big announcement that MattTv, I want a seat there. I want you to have a seat here as well, brother. But yeah, it's just me here by myself. And yesterday morning, I made the announcement. I asked people to sit down because it was a fairly big announcement. And I was just letting people know that this Movember growth is going to stay here till probably the 25th of January, which is my birthday. I'll be 45. So this is going to stay for another 2 months. And I was expecting the stagehand to drop confetti, and he just dropped the ball. And then I realized, yes. Hello? Okay, that was just an interruption. That was my boss calling, and I just declined a phone call from my boss. But it's weird because I have my phone set up. My phone is set up where I'm not going to be disrupted by phone calls. So I obviously dropped the ball on that. So that was my boss. That was my boss calling me, and I declined his phone call because I'm doing a live broadcast. Come on now. 9 minutes after 12. I don't know how much longer. MattTv neon sign. MattTv neon sign. Yes. That's something that I would, a neon sign. I would have to find someone that would know how to build that, to make that. But the Joe Rogan Experience, and this is the last thing I'm going to talk about because I really need to call my boss back. The Joe Rogan Experience. I was watching an episode the other day. That's what I would like to do. I don't want to be a Joe Rogan, but I would love, all I need is a table. All I need is a table with 4 or 5 microphones and just have guests, just have people come in and sit down on the table and talk and have a camera and have it recorded. That's all I want to do. That is really, it's that simple. It's that simple. But I'm looking to take this out of the garage and just get in a more professional setting. That is all. Down the road, I am hosting my own show, but I would love to have a studio audience. I'm always looking to take this to the next level. When in the grand scheme of things, I've been doing this for 8 months. 8 months is nothing compared to how long MattTv is going to go for. This is something that I plan on doing the rest of my life. It'll evolve and morph into all kinds of different things. And I invite you to hang out and go along for the drive. Hang out. But when it comes to a studio audience, there are a handful of people that I will do everything in my power to fly you in and be in that studio audience when that comes about. And that is something that's on my bucket list. That's on my universal bucket list. That is something that I'm always putting out there. And it will happen simply because I will it to happen. Okay. That's enough time for me. I just had a lot of fun. I'm going to save this. So again, there's a few things you can look at and have some fun. There will be... no, I can hang out here all day. No, thanks for... I wanted to come in here because you just never know. I miss... since I stopped doing the evening show, there are people who haven't seen a live show in the morning just because it doesn't jive with their life schedule, their work schedule, and that's okay. You can watch me whenever you want. So I thought I'd come in here this morning just to see who might be online, get that notification that I'm in here fooling around, and just the invite was there to pop in and say hi, which some of you did, and I greatly appreciate it. But there will be a brand new show Monday morning, 5:30, right here on Facebook Live. That's 8:30 Eastern Time, 9:30 in Woodstock, New Brunswick. That's 10 o'clock in Newfoundland. Okay, enjoy the rest of your Saturday. I don't know what the weather is like in your area, but it is really rainy and dreary here on the South Coast. Sunshine moving in tomorrow. Looks like sunshine all week, so I'll get some photos of the North Shore Mountains and the snow that has accumulated on those bad boys. Okay, be safe. Have a great Saturday. Enjoy your Saturday night. My name is Matthew. This is MattTv. Now and always, from sea to sea.